Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gracie Caps here. If you're joining us for the first time, you're most definitely welcome to join the family. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for all the love, the support, the views, the comments. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So this is my model for today. I started by grooming her brows and then I cleaned the rest of the face before I started with the eye, because I'm going to do a pigment look. I decided to start with the eyes. So I used my Milani, you just saw, a lipstick as my base, and I'm just applying and blending it. It's very mattifying and it dries very fast. So um I'm just going to be on it and blend it quick so that all of them can come together. I don't want it to be patchy, or I don't want it to be looking cracky. It's the same thing, Abby. Yeah, but I'm just blending it all around. And then after that, I blend the edge of this base with my red eyeshadow, because I still want to maintain the red transition. So I went in with my red eyeshadow to blend the edge. Then on the eyelid, I used brown. So because I just want to do like a brown smoky before I go in with my shimmer color, I used just brown. And because I want that reddish undertone, that's the reason why I used red as my base. I want a reddish undertone. I don't want brown just looking brown. If not, I would have used a brown base, but I want that reddish undertone, so I used the brown. And I just applied the eyeshadow on the eye and blend. So on this page, if you've been following my work, you will notice that I always say don't pack your eyeshadow when you are starting to apply it. Take it bit by bit, blend and apply. Build the color so that it can come up the way you want it. If you just pack and apply, you might achieve it, but to some extent it might spoil. So because I have a target, there's a way I want it, I'm going to be going in and out, applying and blending, applying and blending. That's just how I work with my eyeshadow colors, so that I can tell when to stop and when to add. So that's just what I am doing, nothing much. You can already see from the first part that was applied, you can see that it's giving that reddish undertone already. So it's just brown on red. Anything can go these days when it comes to makeup. It's no longer like straight to rules, eyeshadow primer for eyeshadow and all. No, you can use anything now. Eyeshadow primer, you can use concealer. We'll be using concealer shade before now, but you can still use eyeshadow primer. You can still use a lipstick depending on what you are trying to achieve and the colors you're going for. Yes, so that's just what I say I should tell you people. Anything can work for you. Yeah, so I'm going in with my first. This is the only color I'm using though, but I'm going to be adding pigment on it. So I'm just going to apply my shimmer color from the front of the eye to like the middle of it on the eyelid and blend it so that it can be equal on all the parts that I want to apply. Also, always remember that when you're applying your eyeshadows, any way the way it appears on the first eye should be the way it should appear on the second eye. They have to be sisters, not sisters only, twin. They have to be twin, like very close. If it is not the same, it should be very close. So you have to be very conscious of the colors and how you're applying them, where it stops and where it starts. It has to be the same so that your work does not look somehow when people look at it. Yeah, so After that, I applied my pigment glue, and then now I'm adding my pigment on it. So I didn't want that color to just be there. Initially, the first color, this color you're seeing here, when I opened it, it was giving me the same color as the shimmer that I added, but when I applied it, it happens there is a gold undertone in it. So I'm just going to go in with it, and I'm going to apply the second color so that it doesn't look flat straight color. I just want that different combos on the eye here. So this one now also have a touch of gold, but a touch of pinkish color in it. So I'm just applying it on the edge. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the eye. So whatever I do here is what I'm going to do on this other side of the eye. After that, I will clean up the excess, the fallout, before I moisturize. And if you've been following my video again, you'll notice that whenever I'm doing eyeshadow work, especially when it is shimmer and pigment, I always start with eye work, because I no get strength to come dey clean pigment on top full makeup that you've already done. And because you're avoiding that fallout, it will make you want to add so much powder, setting powder underneath the eye when you want to bake. And that setting powder, by the time you're done with the whole makeup, you want to dust it off, all of them cannot just go off. It now makes under the eye overly bright. I don't like it like that. I'm not a fan. So I decided to just start with the eye, clean up, and then do my proper work. It's just for me. I don't know about you. You can try this, it can work for you. But what I notice is, if you start with the eye, especially when you're working on a client, the person is like, I don't know, it's not coming together. It will not come together until you start putting products, foundation, highlight on the face. That's when you see the beauty of your work. So after that, I'm using this mattifying primer from Nuban. I'm just going to sweep it all around the face except underneath the eyes, and then I'm just blending here. I'm using a brush to blend, and then the next thing I'm going to do is go in with this Zaron oil block from so it's also a primer, but it's strictly for oil block. If you have a very oily skin, you can use it. But if you don't have oily skin and you want your makeup to stay matte all day, you can just apply it on those areas that you oil a lot. So I'm just applying it. I concentrated on the T-zone and all the rest that produces more oil, but I blended it everywhere on the eye, on the face, because she's an oily skin person. I saw it when I was doing the work and all the rest. After cleaning her face, I saw the way it was, so I added that. Then my foundation is from Yanga Beauty, and then I added my makeup seal from Higa and Esther into it. It just helped to make it lighter and also help to mattify the foundation on your face. So next, as you can see, I'm using my brush, my Steve blending brush, to apply my foundation. So I like to use brush to apply my foundation before I go in with my beauty blender. The reason is, for me, the brush helps to just push the foundation into the skin very well before I go over it with the beauty blender. So I just push it down, and then I'll go in with the beauty blender. And when I'm blending with the beauty blender, or I'm going over it with the beauty blender, I don't go over the face with empty or plain beauty blender that doesn't have product on it. I still use that same beauty blender to just take a little foundation and then go over the face. So any part that I feel like is not well covered by the brush, I'll go over it with the beauty blender and just dab around, make every part uniform. So it works for me very well using the brush first before using the beauty blender. Then after this, I'm going to use my Tehila blush to blush her face. I used 3 colors from the palette, mix them together, and then I use my brush to apply it everywhere that I want it to appear, or everywhere that I want to blush. I just use my blush on it. Did I say brush or blush? Everywhere that I want to blush, I apply it here. So guys, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, please. Like my videos, watch my previous videos, and also leave a comment on my videos so that it can move, it can be shown to other people as well. Please, 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 if there's anything, there's any look, there's any suggestions that you have for me, please leave it in the comment section. Please don't forget to comment. Tell me what you see, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, anything, the way you feel about the look. If there's anything you want me to do, if there's any look you want me to create, tell me about it in the comment section. Please just let me know, please. And please also watch my other videos. I have other videos that I've created, details videos as well, that I've created, that is on this page down. You can see it, though I have some old videos as well. So please guys, please, God bless you as you watch, and comment, and also subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget to do that. So like I said, I like to just use my brush, because I prefer when I use my brush. And another thing is, when I use my brush to apply my product, I don't just use it to touch the product and put it on the face. I try to use mix it into my brush before I apply it, especially foundation and blush, even contour. I do it like that. Well, I use my brush to apply it, blending it on my palette very well. It will sink into the brush, and then I will use it to apply it on the face. You will see the way it will appear. It will not look like a straight color on the face. It will blend into the skin. I don't know if you just look at the blush that I apply. You can see the way it appears on the skin. It is different from when you just put a straight color on the face and then start blending it. The feeling is different. You can just see it. So I like to use brush, like I've said, and you can see I'm using my brush to apply my concealer. The concealer I'm using here is from Juvia's Place. I'm sorry guys, when I'm doing this voice note, there is noise in the background, so if you can hear horns and anything, please just ignore it. This is Port Harcourt for you. The noise is too much. So after applying this highlights, or highlighting her face, though I've not blended it with my beauty blender, I noticed that the concealer was looking too bright for me. It was looking too bright, because I don't really like too much bright colors under the eye, because by the time you set, you bake, all the color is going to lift it, or the powders will lift the color. So I prefer to just use my I use a color or a concealer color that is closer to the skin. So after blending, I looked at it, it was still looking it's still bright. I consider after I was set and possibly bake, the way it will look. So what I did was to use my beauty blender to take my foundation, and then use the foundation to blend the under eye. You can see the color already. When I put the beauty blender on it, you can see that the color changed. It's not looking very bright again. It's now a bit calm. So I'm not a fan of very bright under eye, so I try to just calm it down before it overpowers me. I hate to do makeup, and when I'm done, the person is looking totally different, or I don't feel satisfied. So I like natural makeup. Yeah, so that's the reason why I had to go in with my foundation again, to just help blend the setting areas that I've already added in my concealers. So I just blend because I've already spread it well with my brush. It's easier for me to blend with my beauty blender. Yeah, so that's just what I do. And then when I want to set, you can set with your powder, you can set with your setting powder. Anyone works, yeah, and anyone can work for, anyone works, yeah. What am I even saying? So anyone works for me, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, so before I set, I contour the face. So I'm still using my brush to blend. So like I said, you can see when I went on top of my hand, I actually use the brush to just take it and rub it on it, and then I'll blend it. So I use the excess on the brush to go over the hairline again, and then I'll go back with my beauty blender to further push it in to the skin so that it can blend well with the other product on the skin. Yeah, so that's just how I do my makeup, and you can see what I'm doing already. So I'm using my blood setting powder. It's actually a banana color, but a darker banana color. So I used my beauty puff to apply it. Because I'm a fan of a matte makeup, I like to just use my beauty puff for these areas. I don't think I've tried using brush before to do setting, to set my highlighted areas, and trust me, it didn't work for me. I feel like it's not well dabbed, it's not well, like it's not dry. So I just like to use my beauty puff to just set, because when I want to set, I push it into the skin, make sure everywhere is dry, make sure everywhere is dry before I start setting it. So now, also remember, it has happened to me before now, but if you don't remember, you will see it when you are done setting and you cannot really mend it. Underneath the eye, if you are doing your makeup, because sometimes you'll be talking to the model or you're talking with your client or all the rest, the person is talking to you, the person is blinking her eye, she's looking down and all the rest. Before you set underneath the eye, you remember to always go back, tell the person to look up, blend directly under the hairline or the lash line, blend it well before you set it, so that those lines that was created by the folds when she looks up and down can go off. If you don't and you just set it, by the time you're done, you'll see it. You just see under the eye, and that thing is not really nice. It's not really nice. So I always ask my model, my clients, or even when I do makeup of myself, I try to really put it up and then set. That way you have it smooth under eye when you set. So don't forget to do that. Yeah, so this is just how I do my makeup. After setting like this, I'll go back in and I'll bake. If you notice too, when I am setting, if I use my puff to take my setting powder, I don't just take it and go straight to the face. I try to dab it on my hand, like I can do it in a circular motion on my hand, back of my hand, any part of my body, to reduce the powder, and so that the powder can also sink into the foam, and then I'll go over it. So that is just how I do it, and I go over it multiple times to be sure every part is well set. I take my time when it comes to this part, because if you're not careful with the way you set and all the rest, by the time you're done with the makeup, the person needs to start saying, it is breaking, this happened, that did not happen. Aside that, I know a wrong what's it called, wrong skin prep spoils makeup, but that also helps to spoil it. So for my powder, if you have been seeing my videos, you've watched my video before, you know that I use beauty puff to apply my powder too, before I go over it with my beauty blend. Well, did I say beauty blender? No. Before I go over with my blush. God have mercy. What am I saying? Before I go over with my brush, please, guys, excuse my errors. So I like to use my beauty puff to apply my powders first. The reason is, I'll still say it in this video, it helps to just sit everything in. It sets it. If you're in for a matte look, everything will just sink in. Like the powder you're applying on the foundation dries the foundation. It takes up all the water, the oil, whatever that is in the foundation, and just leave it matte. As you press it in, you're leaving it is matte. So I press it all around the face before I go over it with my powder brush. So when I'm going with my powder brush, I don't still go with empty brush. I still use the powder brush to touch my powder and just blend around. That one is just a less, just for powder sake, nothing much. I'll just go around. But the main thing I do is, when it comes to powder application, the main work is with my powder puff. Yeah, so that's just what I do. So this one is just to go over it and then dust off. That's just it. Then I'm going in for my brows. The brow pencil I'm using is from Beauty King. It's a Nigerian brand and it's very pigmented. It's very nice. So I'm just going to outline my brows and then fill it in. Now when I'm drawing my brows, I don't just draw my brows. I try very much to look at the brows. I first of all look at the brows. Like sometimes I don't just stand and look at the brows, but while I'm doing skin prep, doing eyeshadow, I'm looking at the brows, looking at the size of the brows, looking at the length of the brows, looking at the arc and all the rest. All this I put into consideration before I start drawing my brows. When I look at it, I look at the size of the brows, and then I look at how wide is the eye, where the tail of the brow should stop, and where her hair stops, and all the rest before I start drawing my brows. And I'm very, very conscious and direct. I try to be light-handed with my pencil so that my line is not too thick, and then I also try to straighten my hands so that I have a straight line. I just like the word is precise. Yes, I like to be precise when I'm drawing my brows. When you are drawing your brows, if you are very precise with your line, the line you are creating on and underneath the brows, when you're concealing, you will not have problem because it's already very straight. You already draw the exact shape of brows you want. All you're doing is just to clean up with your concealer. So now when I want to conceal, I will just go directly on the underneath the line that I have created so that the brows can stand out. But if you just do zigzag with your brows, when you want to start concealing, it will require plenty product, plenty concealer to cover it, and then you will now start cutting off some parts, mending with your concealer. Your brows will now be looking crooked if you're not too careful. So I would advise that you really take your time and be precise when you're drawing your brows. And then after concealing my brows, like, okay, before I conceal my brows, I like my concealers to be close to what is on the face, the colors on the face. Yeah. So the same way I like to mix my concealer with my foundation when I'm highlighting underneath my brows, or when I'm highlighting the rest of the face, that's the same way I like to mix it when I'm highlighting underneath my brows, because I don't like underneath my brows looking white, meanwhile my model or my client is dark. It's not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. It makes me look like it's not natural. It gives me that not a natural vibes kind of makeup. So I'm not a fan. I just like to mix my color, tone my concealer down. Sometimes I still use my foundation to highlight underneath my brows. Especially when I'm working on a lighter skin, I can use just my foundation to highlight underneath the brows. And then if there is any mistake on top of the brows, if there is any mistake at all on top of the brows, I use my foundation to correct it. If I want to conceal the top of my brows, I use my foundation. If I'm drawing my brows first before my skin prep, my eyeshadow and all the rest, I use my foundation to conceal the top of my brows so that it can match. You will not be seeing one color looking white or darker or orangey on top of the brows, and then the foundation is not like that. So I'm always very careful with it. And after concealing on top of my under my brows rather, I set it with my setting powder or my powder, the face powder that I used on whoever that I'm doing makeup on, or myself. I just use that powder to set it. Then after setting, you can already tell, looking at it now, you can see the demarcation between my eyeshadow where it stops and where the brows or the concealer stops. It's looking like there is a cut, a straight cut on it. Don't leave your own open, because I don't leave my own like that. I go back using the color, the brush that I use for my first transition color, and then if there's no product on the brush, I will take a little of that product or the little of the eyeshadow that I use in that area to blend it out, so that there will not be demarcation between my concealer and my first transition color, or the color that is showing on the brow bone. So that's just what I do when it comes to brows and concealing, so that everything can just come together. So next thing I'm doing is I am bronzing the face. So I'll bronze from the contour to the blush area to the hairline, and then I'll use the excess on the brush and just blend from the contour down, so that there will not be, it will not look too different from the other part of the face. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just applying it with my brush. I'll blend it down after applying it on the contour and the blush area. I'll just blend it down into the face so that it will be uniform. Everything can come together gently, but I'm not just taking too much from the product to apply it on the rest of the face. I use the excess on the brush most times to apply it on the rest of the face. This bronzers too sometimes helps to tone down if the parts of, if the rest of the face is lighter than the way you want it. You can just tone it down with your bronzer. So I'm just applying it on the forehead. You can already tell the forehead the way it is looking, and the rest of the face you can tell. So that's just how I do my own makeup. I don't know about you. If you like any of my technique, you can adopt. If there's any question you have, you can ask in the comment section. If there's anything you would like me to do, if there is any look you would like me to create, please don't hesitate. Tell me. I'm open to comments and suggestions. Yeah, if there is anything that you observe as well, you can also tell me. So next thing I'm doing now is to blush off our face, and after that I will go in to do her lip. So please don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe to my channel, watch my other videos, and please leave a comment. I would like to know your thoughts on this look or on the videos that are on my page. What do you think about them? Please don't forget to leave a comment, guys. Please help me to push my videos, and God bless you as you do so. So I am just lining her lip with that Beauty by AD dark lipstick. It's actually very matte. I also use it for the eye, just to say it. Yeah, I also use it especially when I'm doing dark look. I use it for the eye as well. So I'll just use it to line the lip. I'll blend it out, and then I'll go in with my lip palette from Eye Magic. So I'm going to pick two colors from the Eye Magic lip palette, blend it together, and then I will apply it in the middle. Yeah, so I'm going with a peachy or pinky peachy lip today, aligning it to a brown color. So after lining it, what I usually do is I'll go in and just use my brush to blend the what's it called, the lipsticks on the lip together. So like as I have applied it now, I will blend it so that it can be equal, it can be uniform all around before I go into the next color that is supposed to be in the lip or in between them. Yeah, so that's just what I am doing. So it's this blending that I'm talking about, and I'm picking these colors. I think the colors didn't really show, but I picked those two colors, yeah, together, and just mixed it on my hand and then apply it with my blending brush. Then I'll blend the edges together, and then I went in with my nude lip gloss and a clear lip gloss. Now the new lip gloss was a bit different from the color on the lip, so what I did was I put the lip gloss on my hand, and then I mixed this lipstick, a touch of it in the lip gloss, mix it together so that the lip gloss color can change to this color that is on the lip, and then I applied it directly on that color because that is the color I want to bring out. So I applied that color lip gloss on the peachy color there. I don't know if it's peach or pink, yeah, but that color. Then I used the clear gloss on the dark brown that I used in outlining the lip so that that brown can pop, because if the colored gloss goes on the brown, it's going to kill the brown, and the brown is not going to be browning. Yeah, so that's just how I like my makeup. If I don't want the color on the lip to be more pronounced, I can just go over it with gloss, like a clear gloss. But to intensify the color on the lip, especially nude, it's fine. And when you go with a nude gloss on it, yeah. So, and some clear gloss these days, some or a few of it breaks your nude or yeah colors. So when you add a nude gloss to the nude color on your lip, even if it's going to break, it's not going to be looking too obvious. Yeah, it's not going to be looking too obvious. So that's just how I like my lips to come up. I'm blending it already, and then these are the glosses. They are both from RAG Cosmetics. So no, the nude is from RAG Cosmetics, and then the clear is from Younger Beauty Cosmetics. So I'm just applying it, and I will not try to push it down, but after applying it, I'll blend the edge as well before I apply my clear gloss. So I asked her to just smack the middle a little before I'll go over and blend them together, and then I apply my gloss like I explained earlier. This is time for the gloss. So I try to move the gloss to a I don't allow them to be separated. I push the edges together, edge of the nude into the gloss a little, and the gloss into the nude a little, so that they can all be one family, not looking separated like this is where the gloss stops and this is where the nude stops. No, that's a nice work. So that's just what this is all about. Yeah, so that's how I do my makeup, guys. If you like anything about this look, please let me know in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, please. I am begging you guys. Help a sister, help a friend, anything, just help me. Yeah, please. Not gonna help me. Subscribe to this channel, like, and leave a comment, please. God will bless you all as you do that for me. Yeah, so you can see the lip the way it is, and then I set. So what I usually do is I set with my setting spray first, which is a dewy spray. I'll just set it all around, enough of it, especially when I feel the face is too dusty. I'll just set it all around. Then I will lock it up with my lock mattifying spray. So guys, this is the finished look. You can see the glow that I used. The highlighter is from Beauty by AD. See you in my next video. Bye.